And I think right now the artist needs to kind of go beyond the arena of, conversations that have been forced into the arena, and try and go beyond that and see what's really happening with the human being. Because, right now the human being is, it truly is at the edge of being relevant at all. There's a book I read, Homo Deus, and he's talking about, how the human being is going the way of the horse, where once cars came in, the horse kind of, it races at the Kentucky Derby and everything, but what it was used for and how important it was for transportation and stuff like that, it was over. It was over, and there was no coming back. He makes that comparison in the world of automation and AI and algorithms and stuff like that, that the human being is going the way of the horse as far as, what are we going to be used for? I mean, and you can already kind of see what it is that we're going to be used for. I mean, if you start implementing universal basic income, you're going to get entrepreneurs who are, really taking a look at the marketplace and being able to do some imaginative things. And then you're going to have the other half of the population who's, consuming a bunch of media, spending the universal basic income, barely getting by. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I think we might even be at the point where we're obsolete already. I hate to say it, I understand that, there's a lot of people contributing to like engineering and biotech, and, that human beings still do have some sort of dignity and purpose. But, we're getting really close, and I think we're already seeing what happens when the human being becomes irrelevant. You know what they become? They become, video game streamers, which is fine, by the way. I think right now, the way that the market's going, I think there's a real reinvention going on, and it's not just because of what happened and things moving more towards online and virtual conferences and stuff like that. I think there's something even bigger than that, because there's no way that young people coming up now, I think it's Gen Z, or it might even be beyond that, who are basically getting an education through the internet. Let's face it. There's no way. When I was growing up, I would go down to the library, and this was right on the cusp of, the dial-up internet. And they had like CD-ROMs, and they had entire encyclopedias on the CD-ROM. They had news articles that you could look at. They had a huge archive of all this information. And I got to be honest with you, it's like whatever, subject I was passionate about at the time, I would go down there obsessively and, print out things, highlight things. I don't even know what the hell I was even, to be honest with you, at the time. God only knows what I was interested in at the time. Filmmaking for sure, but, there were always other subjects that I was interested in. So my generation was already kind of surpassing what the education system is in the country already. That we were already finding other ways to educate ourselves, especially if we had like an obsession and a real itch to kind of discover and explore another subject. And that's got to be 4, 5, 6 times. As important, I guess you could say, now. There's going to be an entirely new market coming up because of the way people are, being educated in this country. And it's not in a classroom. It really isn't. The kids who are smart enough to play the game and get into, advanced placement courses or whatever, that's great. And people are still going to be able to play that game, but you know, there's going to be two types of people. One that just they don't have really an imagination, or they don't really have a real passion that's driving them. So they just kind of do what they do, and kind of go through the whole process of when you're supposed to do this and when you're supposed to do that. But you're going to have another group within the population who is driven by God only knows what, and is educating themselves